Hello and welcome to episode 62 of the Game Boat Podcast, your weekly dose of lightning and Votto. I am your host, Grant. Today, I'm joined here by our friend from across the pond, Ryan Jones. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing very good, thank you.
Yeah. And the other person here is Kyle. How are you?
I'm fine as always, just peachy, of course.
Yeah. Kyle's always peachy.
Yep.
Now, before we get started, have you guys seen Civil War yet? Captain America Civil War?
Yep.
Yes.
I just saw it today, actually.
Let's talk about that real quick before we get started. Because I thought that was an incredible movie. It's up there in my favorite Marvel movie. I liked it better in Winter Soldier, and I love Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely up there for one of my favorite Marvel films. I really did enjoy it. I liked it how it got a bit more intense and a little bit more darker than the other
for sure.
Marvel films.
Yeah, my favorite Marvel movie, at least modern Marvel movies, still remains Iron Man, first one.
Kyle.
But yeah, Civil War is probably like my favorite current Marvel movie in like a long time since the original Iron Man.
Wow. Well, yeah. So I think mine, like, counting like the main Marvel movies, like not stuff like Ant-Man and Guardians of the Galaxy, which Guardians of the Galaxy I think probably is still my favorite. But this one's definitely top 3 for me. Deadpool I have to put in there too, to be honest. Like, Deadpool is great.
Deadpool was very good, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I like how like the hero on hero fighting is like I think a lot more interesting than just like heroes on grunts. Just because like, and it's not just like one-on-one battles either. It's like maybe Scarlet Witch is fighting this one person, and then she goes to help someone else, and then someone else helps the person who's getting attacked. And I don't know. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I liked how they pulled off. Like, there was really no actual villain in the movie.
There is, but he's not really the villain.
Even considering him, there's like really the villains are both Captain America and Iron Man. That's kind of even overstepping it a bit.
Yeah. You guys, Team Iron Man or Team Cap?
Team Cap.
Yeah.
Kyle, I guess it really just depends. Really, I went into it because I don't like.
I went into it. I was Team Iron Man just because I thought Iron Man was cooler than Captain America. But then, like, after the movie, I was like, okay, I don't see how anyone could not be on Captain America. So.
Yeah, and in the comics, because I haven't read the comics, but I know that Ultimate Alliance is, of course, based off of the arc. At least I believe so. And so, I'm probably more leaning on towards Team Iron Man for the most part.
Oh my gosh!
It's gonna be a fight here now.
Yeah, this is gonna be a Civil War. Game Boat Podcast episode 62. Civil War.
Overall, Team Cap. I mean.
Yeah. There we go.
Cause you saw sense eventually.
Because Tony Stark is awesome, but of course, Team Cap has more.
Like, not going into spoilers or anything.
Yeah, going on with them. Anyway.
Yeah. So. Well, that's our quick thoughts on Civil War for the Game Boat Podcast. Let's go ahead.
Fantastic.
Let's go ahead and continue on to the video games. Again, before we start into what we're playing. The Game Boat Podcast is the official podcast of thegameboat.com. It posts to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. Now let's go ahead and move on to what we're playing. Ryan, why don't you go ahead and go first?
Well, I just finished off playing Life is Strange.
Nice.
Ooh,
and
yeah.
It was an incredible experience. To be honest, the only reason I bought it, I heard mixed things, so I wasn't keen on buying it straight away, but then I found it for £10 on the European PlayStation Store.
Yeah, might as well give it a try.
Exactly. So I played through it, and it exceeded my expectations completely. I honestly think it's better than any Telltale game I've ever played.
Yeah, definitely.
I love Telltale. Yeah.
I
don't think I've ever been. Sorry, you go.
I always advocate Life is Strange and how amazing it is.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, and I don't think I've ever been so emotionally engaged through a game all the way through. Like, The Last of Us did have me emotionally gripped for most of it, but it was Life is Strange is so small scale and yet still manages to hit those notes, and it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't play it, but I watched a playthrough of it all the way through, so I kind of have an idea of what it is. Like,
oh man, that just ruins it, man.
well, yeah, well, like I'm not gonna play through it now because like it's kind of no point if I already seen everything. But like I like how like the only thing that was confusing is to me is just in concept. I think they did it pretty well, but in concept, like why can't like if this is a game about like your choices, why can you like see a choice and then go back and see the other one to see like which outcome there is? But I guess that
I think
doesn't
that's
really
kind
matter
of the theme of the game, though. Really.
yeah, but I guess that didn't really matter because there's kind of like a deeper meaning than the initial one that you see just from like just the scene that you see after you choose.
I think I was worried about that as well, but they do seem to pull it off because a lot of the consequences come quite later on, where you can only reverse time to like up to a couple of minutes.
Mm-hmm. And then there are some sections right where you can't rewind time.
Yes,
like the major decisions. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was a really interesting game. Like some of the dialogue and stuff was kind of iffy, but the whole story and themes and stuff were fantastic.
Yeah, sure. It was definitely flawed at times. Like I said, the dialogue was bad at certain moments, and I think obviously it's a small budget game, so the graphics were amazing. And I don't mind if it's got poor graphics, but because it's supposed to be such an immersive and storytelling game, sometimes there'd be some really emotional moments, and the characters wouldn't seem to be responding to the right emotions.
Mm-hmm.
So it would be interesting to see the same game in like Uncharted 4 graphics, where you can see the emotions from just like. But obviously that's not very realistic with the budget, but it would still be very interesting.
The soundtrack was fantastic in the game.
Oh, the soundtrack was fantastic.
Like it was like handled so perfectly. And at the end of it, when Spanish Sahara started playing, I was just like, oh man, this brings like this moment to a whole another level just because of that song. So it's just like by the end of the game, I was just like I was tearing up like completely, and it's just like,
oh yes,
I love this game.
I think I saw a while back that they confirmed that they're making another one. I believe. Hold on. Yeah, I mean,
they've said that they want to develop a second season, but they haven't necessarily confirmed it either. Basically, what they were saying was that they aren't sure if they want to, because if they were to make another Life is Strange game, it wouldn't be in the same place. It wouldn't be Arcadia Bay. It wouldn't be the same people. It'd have to be completely different people, which if you play the game to completion, you'll know why. But
here, let me see here.
We'll see.
Yeah, it says one of these articles, Life is Strange 2 confirmed by Don't Nod.
Okay.
What were you going to say, Ryan?
I'd love them to make another game, but I don't think I want it to be Life is Strange. I think Life is Strange for me is so it's not perfect. But as a story, it's so great to itself. I don't think they should do another sequel. But make another game, sure. Go for like a completely different.
Or I guess they could like have a sequel, but just not have it involve any of the characters. Or
I suppose.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think because Life is Strange is a great concept. It's just like, and Don't Nod definitely knows what they're doing storytelling wise. So I think if they were to make a sequel and they were to have a like nicer budget this time around, they could have like a complete masterpiece on their hands. Yeah. They really could.
But have they tried too many tricks of the whole time traveling thing now? Could it get repetitive?
Yeah.
That's my only issue.
Yeah, definitely. That and the whole time travel thing kind of fell apart in the end. So that's the only issue I think I had with Life is Strange, is that the time travel kind of messed with it a bit towards the end.
Speaking of time travel, I'll get to that later.
Grant's a time traveler confirmed.
I'm from 1962. You guys would never know.
Can you fast forward it to tomorrow?
I wish I had that power.
Yeah, do that.
Ryan, you playing anything else?
The only other thing I've been playing really is Rocket League. I've tried Hoops a bit.
I can wait till it stops right now. Wait, what time stamp is this? Let's see. Alright. Sorry about that. Alright, continue.
No worries. Yeah, that's the same. The only other game I've been playing is Rocket League since Hoops came out. And the basketball thing, I enjoyed it first, but I think for me the novelty's worn out a bit already, and
I like the hockey.
yeah,
like it's a nice change of pace for a little bit, but it's kind of just a gimmick.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They should
It
just
still
make
never
it
beat the football part of it.
They should just make an RPG mode.
Rocket League RPG.
Yeah, they're going down the same direction as Angry Birds apparently.
Yeah, the Rocket League
do
basketball.
that.
I'm not nearly as good as I am about the soccer. Like I'm sure part of it is just because I haven't played that mode as long, but I feel like it's a lot harder to have to hit the ball like up and then in instead of just like straight in. But yeah, I definitely prefer the normal modes.
And the football is so fast paced and end to end as well. It's just a lot more exciting.
Oh, I got it.
Oh,
Rocket League Golf.
that would be.
Oh,
it would be interesting.
That would be
Let
interesting.
me think how they could pull like, I don't know. Rocket League.
They'd have to make new
water
stages.
polo.
What about
Or just Rocket League Polo.
Rocket League competitive knitting.
wrestling?
But yeah, Rocket League. It's good. Just the soccer mode is it's where it started. Where I fell in love with that game, and it's not really gonna get replaced by any other mode. I don't think. But I'll just go over what I'm playing real quick, and then Kyle, we can get to you. Quantum Break. Speaking of that time travel, hint, hint. I beat that. When did I beat that? I think I beat that this weekend. But yeah, fantastic game. I mentioned, actually I wasn't on last week, but the week before I mentioned that like Quantum Break, like I knew I missed linear like story based stuff, but then I didn't really realize how much I missed it until I played through Quantum Break. Just because, like,
yeah.
I don't know, like the need for like Last of Us is really the game that I, like started falling in love with games, and then ever since then it's just been kind of like open world everything. And then Quantum Break was just really refreshing to play through. Fantastic game. The combat's really fun. The story's really good. The time travel makes sense. Because this isn't really a spoiler, like you find out early, but like whatever you can go back into the past, but you can't change it, but you can change the future, if that makes sense. Like, yeah, so like,
yes, it does. Yeah.
Like, because whatever you do to try to fix the past, it'll just make the past happen again. So it's kind of like a loop where there's multiple realities.
Interesting.
But yeah, I think it's one of the most effective like translations of time travel that makes sense to me. Like normally I would be confused. I was like, wait, if this can happen, then why does this not happen? But I think they did it really well. They just put it into a fun game too. Yeah, and then I put Hurry Up Uncharted 4 because I can't wait. Well, I'm sure this will be a heavy Uncharted 4 episode next week. But yeah, Kyle, what are you up to?
Well, other than playing a waiting game for Uncharted 4, I thought I would play Borderlands today, just because I wanted to. And of course I have the Handsome Collection, and I played Borderlands 1 through 2, never finished 2. But I started playing the pre-sequel, and it's actually pretty good, despite it being kind of the bad child. It's sort of like Arkham Origins, really, that type of deal. Different developer, smaller scope. But yeah, it's fun for Borderlands. I've always liked Borderlands, so probably won't play it again when Uncharted 4 comes out tomorrow, of course. But it's just sort of like an immediate thing until Uncharted 4 comes out, because I'm not really sure what else to play
right
right
time
now. So.
for another 20 hours or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I think that wraps up what we're playing. Let's go ahead and move on to the news storm. Boom.
Boom.
There was some serious thunder. There have been some serious thunder here, like in the past week. It's kind of insane. Like Like half of the
Yeah,
time
it's
during
been
the night,
raining
I'll
a
just
lot,
wake up to like this
so.
massive thunder crash. There was actually a tree in my like the house behind us. Like the tree fell down onto our fence. But yeah, it's pretty intense. First up,
Yeah.
Battlefield 1 has been officially announced. And PlayStation.
For the Xbox One.
EA has
Dun, dun, dun.
officially announced the next game in the Battlefield series, Battlefield 1. The game is set during World War I and features new melee weapons, horses, and biplanes. The trailer shows a rapid series of encounters with tanks, flamethrowers, battleships, and artillery, as well as
And
as well as
Zeppelins.
battles in trenches. We also get to see the soldier scene in yesterday's teaser, and it turns out the shadow being cast across his face was an enormous Zeppelin, Kyle, flying overhead.
Yeah, they should have played like a Led Zeppelin song during the trailer. Although Seven Nation Army does fit.
Oh, I have Seven Nation Army song really got me going.
Yeah,
What are your
definitely.
thoughts on it going? You know, we've seen a lot of shooters and stuff go into the future with Call of Duty.
Well, it certainly looks better than Infinite Warfare. Has an
Yeah,
Call
equally
of Duty
dumb title,
or
but
Battlefield 1. Like,
Battlefield 1. Technically, it makes sense. They never did
was it
actually
just called
have a
Battlefield?
Battlefield 1, so is I think the first Battlefield was
yeah, that's right.
Battlefield
I
1942,
guess there
wasn't
was
it?
not for a Battlefield 1.
And like this Battlefield is like the very first to take place. It's like the very first to take place before, like it takes place during World War One. So it's sort of like the very first.
Yeah, I'm actually
timeline
kind of
wise, I
excited
guess.
for this. Like, I know a lot of the future stuff kind of looks more visually appealing and stuff.
Yeah.
But I think that it would be a nice change of pace to go back to like the old time shooters. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a brilliant move by Battlefield, to be honest, because both Battlefield and Call of Duty have been gradually going more to the future,
Yeah.
and we've already got tons
the
of futuristic shooters. It's nice to go back to the past for once. Like when was the last great shooter?
Yeah, like, plus,
first-person
like-
shooter set in World War One. I can't remember off the top of my head.
Yeah, plus
I don't think
Call
there
of
were
Duty
many,
and
really.
Titanfall are
Usually
kind
it's
of on
World
the
War
more
II.
futuristic side, so in terms
Yeah.
of like marketing and stuff, I think this helps them stand out. Yeah, as long as it plays better
Yeah,
than
definitely.
Battlefield Hardline did,
Yeah, I agree.
because Battlefield Hardline was probably the least fun I've had playing a shooter in a long time.
I think once like Killzone 4 or 5 gets announced, people are just going to be like so fed up with futuristic space FPS stuff. They're just
Unless
like,
it's
we don't
Horizon,
care,
because that's
Sony, just
prehistoric
go-
future.
do something else.
Yeah, I definitely
Yeah.
am pretty excited for this. I don't know, like, deciding between this and Infinite Warfare, I'm sure they'll probably both have betas, so that'll probably just be the deciding factor in which one I get. Just because, like,
Yeah, of course.
Hardline, I played the beta. I really did not like it, so I didn't get it. Black Ops 3, I played the beta. I loved it, so I got it. So yeah, I think that'll probably be the factor of me just deciding which one I get, since they're both coming out in the fall. Like last year, they were kind of separate times. Like what?
I'd rather have a beta
Getting
for
to
the
that.
Modern Warfare remaster.
Next on this is let's see here. So I was just on Twitter yesterday, and the Infinite Warfare trailer has over 1 million dislikes as compared to like 300,000 likes on YouTube. I don't know what that means, but here is an article that says, title is, this is how Activision spun Call of Duty Infinite Warfare YouTube dislikes into a positive. So Activision Blizzard today held a conference call with investors and analysts to review its recent quarterly earnings report. The latter half of the call consisted of usual Q&A portion, during which the company's executives were asked about the high number of YouTube dislikes that Infinite Warfare reveal trailer has amassed. The response was nothing short of masterful. So Activision found a way to make this sound positive. Quote, "First of all, you gotta love the passion of gamers," Eric Hirschberg, CEO of Activision, said when he was talking about the trailer's dislikes. "This is an industry like no other and a fan base like no other, and we love that our fans treat this franchise like it's their own and has such strong points of view about it. There just aren't many entertainment franchises on Earth that can generate that kind of passion that Call of Duty can. That's a good thing. Secondly, of course, we know that there are people in our community who are nostalgic for the boots on the ground style gameplay, and that's why we made Modern Warfare Remastered, but we also have millions of people in our community who want to have new innovative experiences in the game each year, and Infinite Warfare delivers that. And the good news is we found a way to deliver both in one package." I don't know how we managed to do that.
I wonder if Infinite Warfare will have infinite mops.
I don't think so.
I don't think it will. I really don't.
Am I correct in saying that you can't get Call of Duty 4 Remastered without buying a special edition of Infinite Warfare?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you have to buy Modern Warfare. You can only get Modern Warfare Remastered with Infinite Warfare, and you have to pay $80 to get both. So
yeah, that's ridiculous. And I think that also shows their lack of confidence with Infinite Warfare.
Yeah, definitely. It's, I guess, sort of genius marketing-wise. At the same time, it's not what people really want. Like, people are going to buy it just for Modern Warfare, which is what Activision kind of wants.
And
but it's just like
another reason why I'm kind of
cheapskating,
sketchy about Infinite Warfare is that it's made by what's the developer again? Yeah, Infinity Ward, which is probably the worst of the Call of Duty developers, Treyarch and Sledgehammer. Yes,
you say that, and
recently,
they're
like
the original ones who developed Call of Duty.
Yeah,
but they're not even the same
Ghosts,
company they used to be game. Anyway. So yeah.
So I don't know. But it's interesting how so many people are disliking Infinite Warfare. I guess they're kind of, I don't know, maybe they're just clamoring for it to go back, or
I guess
just kind of sick of futuristic shooters.
People just don't want space stuff anymore. I think.
Well, I watched the trailer, and even I'll get a futuristic game if I.
Like, I'm not just against futuristic games. I just want it to be like.
Yeah, definitely.
Trailer, no. Exactly. I just don't think that trailer offered anything. What is there to get excited about in that trailer? I don't think there was anything. So I think just like to justify it, to be completely honest.
It's not even like really sci-fi future either. It's not like the distant future. It's sort of like a modern spin of the future. So it's just like you're not even going full future. So it's just
moving
like,
on.
What's the point?
Microsoft's E3 2016 plans have been detailed. Let's see here. During Microsoft's E3 briefing, the company will show off previously announced games and also air never-before-seen trailers for new games coming out later this year and beyond. This is basically part for the course in terms of what you can expect from any E3 briefing. As announced previously, the show starts at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Time on June 13th. Microsoft also announced it's bringing back its Xbox Daily live show, during which we'll interview developers and make announcements throughout E3. Lastly, Microsoft confirmed that Xbox Fan Fest is also returning for 2016, which is a different event outside of E3, I believe. And then last month, it was reported that Microsoft may announce a new Xbox device during its E3 briefing. I mean, it's pretty much just standard stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuphead.
Really.
At this point, I just want Cuphead to come out.
I haven't thought about Cuphead in a while.
I mean, Scalebound was delayed to 2017 at the beginning of this year, so it's just like, well, my hype for that's kind of gone down a bit, and Microsoft hasn't announced anything new.
Let's say, what else
like
is out for
their
Xbox
lineup for this year is kind of like empty.
Gears 4.
Gears 4.
Yeah, I guess Quantum Break is out
Recore,
now.
that's Cuphead. That's it.
But yeah, that's kind of a light lineup, but I guess Sony kind of has one
Yeah.
too, because Horizon isn't coming out this year. I don't. I feel like I saw something on Twitter
It
that said
isn't?
it wasn't
Really?
coming out this year. Like it's not a delay because they never gave a release date.
Oh, no.
But I
What a
was really
bummer.
expecting it to come out this year, so that was pretty disappointing.
I was
Yeah,
hoping it was going to get like a Christmas release date during
Yeah.
E3 or something.
It seems like a 2016 game. If that makes any sense.
Find
So.
it. Wait, hold
As,
on. Oh, never mind. There must have been like a
let's just
leak
hope
or
The Last
something that
Guardian
said it
comes
was
out this year.
coming in 2017, but
Well,
now there's an article that was just published like 10 hours ago. It says Sony says PS4 exclusive Horizon is still releasing in 2016. Thank God.
Oh,
Ha.
phew.
I think
Nice.
man.
For The Last Guardian, I don't think
I
it'll come out this
swear.
year, to be honest.
Yeah, if it doesn't come out this year, it probably won't ever come out.
It better had now.
Yeah,
after doing all
Microsoft
that.
E3 standard stuff. The only thing I thought interesting, well, I mean, we kind of talked about it before on this with like the upgraded PS4 kind of like slimmed down version. Yeah, the Neo. Moving on.
Neo. It's just a box with Windows
Dishonored
Vista
2 has a
attached to
release
it.
date. Bethesda has announced that Dishonored 2 will launch on PS4, PC, and Xbox One on November 11th. The world premiere of Dishonored 2's gameplay will take place during Bethesda's E3 showcase on June 12th. Yeah, I forget they did too. I didn't
Forgetting they're having
I just-
another E3 presentation this year.
Like, I could see them announcing.
Makes me wonder
I think
what all they're going to
I
announce.
may have said this, but I feel like I could see them
Yes.
announcing like Elder Scrolls, the next Elder Scrolls, but it'll be by a different developer, like not Bethesda.
I think
Oh,
we
man.
won't see even next
I
Elder
would
Scrolls
eat that
game, but
up.
we might see a
Give me
remake.
that.
I want a remake of
want
Oblivion
Skyrim
or
remake
Morrowind.
too. Kyle, don't you like Oblivion better?
Ooh. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. It's not as bad as
I
Brett
get made
thinks
fun
it
of
was
for that for a
for a
while.
while. Did you not know that? Well, he doesn't think that now,
What?
but like when he initially
No, I
played through
didn't.
them, like he played through them again
Thank God
recently.
for that.
But when he first played through them, he thought that Uncharted 1 was the best, and he was very adamant in his position on that.
That's unforgivable.
Yeah. Just like
Yes.
he's very
Uh,
adamant in how
but
he
what do you
thinks
guys
about
think
Final
about
Fantasy 14.
Dishonored 2?
I mean, I really like Dishonored, so I'm kind of excited for it, but I never got a chance to get too far in Dishonored, so not really sure what to think, but it definitely does show promise.
Yeah, I think it looks very promising. But I didn't complete Dishonored 1 because
Alright.
that's when I switched to PlayStation 4 when I first had Dishonored 1. So, and I haven't been able to play. I wasn't able to finish all my PS3 games at the time. But did they make it a PlayStation 4 port?
Yeah.
Yes. So I am intending on getting it soon.
Yeah, I don't
this
know
summer, so
too much about
hopefully I
Dishonored,
can play through that
but
before number 2
from
comes
people
out.
like Brett and I think there's a few other people who love Dishonored 1, that makes me, have a good feeling about Dishonored 2. Yeah.
From what I played, it was pretty cool. To be fair, it was a nice original concept.
Watch Dogs
Yeah, definitely.
2. The main character may have been leaked. Yeah, it's a hipster.
And is a
An
hipster.
image of what is reportedly the protagonist of Watch Dogs 2 has appeared online. The picture, which you can see here, is found on an Instagram profile belonging to King, a performance artist. And he said the caption was, "Had a blast doing motion capture as the lead character in a new video game series." Hashtag Watch Dogs 2 was one of them. But yeah, honestly, this looks kind of like believable.
Yeah, it is, but I don't think. I'm not sure what to think about it, to be honest. I'm not sure if I'm.
Maybe it'll be like an
That's one
Assassin's
of,
Creed
like
or
I
Assassin's
can't
Creed
wait
2
for
thing.
Watch Dogs 2.
I hope.
Like, I feel like I liked Watch Dogs, like the first one, a lot more than other people. Like, I think it had a lot of really good ideas. Like how I kind of feel like the one thing that I kind of wish it, like, I feel like Watch Dogs would have been a better game if it was a linear game. Just because, like, really the best parts of it was the whole, like, hacking, using cameras to mark enemies and take things down. Yeah, but so if there was just like linear parts
Yeah,
like
I
that
can
and
see
then
that.
missions and then maybe some like racing parts, I thought that would have been really well done. But I feel like they can sort of make an Assassin's Creed 1 to Assassin's Creed 2 jump
Yeah.
because of what I said. It has a lot of good ideas. They just needed to be maybe refined more. Yeah. Yeah, not delay it.
And not delay it. That's what I think screwed over
Another
Watch
thing
Dogs,
that
is they just
kind of screwed
delayed it
over
so
Watch
many
Dogs
times
was
and
like
they kept
everyone thought
building
it would
up
be like the
hype,
greatest
and
game
when it
ever,
came
and
out-
then like that's kind of too high expectations. So like even if you loved it, it probably wouldn't have
Yeah.
been as good as you thought.
Yeah.
and
Watch Dogs
Ubisoft's
1.
go on. How
So
was
Watch
it?
Dogs 1 really reminded me of Assassin's
Right.
Creed 1. Like, it had all this potential, even so many new possibilities, but it wasn't really. The novelty wore off quite quickly. So, like you said, if it can make the jump from like what
sure.
Assassin's Creed 1 to 2 to Watch Dogs 1 to 2, then we'll have a special game on our hands.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
it's whether.
Yeah.
I'm not completely convinced whether Ubisoft will be able to do that. But
And then if they make another game, it probably won't be as good, and then it'll continue not to be as good.
All right,
exactly.
A
I think
new
it'll get carried
Star
as
Wars
part of Watch
game.
Dogs or something.
is coming from Respawn Entertainment, the developer of Titanfall. EA Studios executive Patrick Soderlund revealed that EA is working with Titanfall developer Respawn Entertainment on an all-new third-person action adventure game set in the Star Wars universe. Respawn is also working on Titanfall 2, which is rumored to come out later this year. The company has talked about branching out into the mobile game space someday as well. Yeah, you guys talk about that. I need to go get a drink of water real quick. My
Interesting.
throat's like dying. I'll be right back. You guys continue.
Sure. Well,
Uh,
I think this is, for me, it's a mix. I don't know what to think really. It could
Yeah.
either be a really good game or it could just be yet another Star Wars filler game. So
Yeah, it's like EA already has like I think 2 and 3 Star Wars games being developed currently, and I know Bioware still hasn't announced it, and they probably won't for a very long time. But they've been rumored to be making another Star Wars game, and I know that there's a KOTOR remake being developed by like previous Bioware developers. That's pretty cool. But I guess it's just like it just depends, like what it would be like if it's like Star
Yeah.
Wars 1313 or whatever.
yeah, completely. I'm just worried that we're gonna be burnt out by Star Wars because if there's gonna be so many games coming out for it, we're gonna get
Yeah.
fed up with it eventually,
Um,
no matter how good
I-
the franchise is. But
Don't like how good is the Titanfall campaign gonna be? Because I feel like if Respawn has like a big part of making this game, and like the sort of campaign for Titanfall is subpar, I would kind of be skeptical about this game. I know that. What does it say here? I I know they're like working with EA and stuff, but I think like I don't know, just the whole Star Wars thing. I feel like it kind of has to be the right studio to make it done well. And like Respawn seems more like
Yeah,
focused on gameplay. Like
definitely.
gameplay of Titanfall is awesome, but if it's like if it has a campaign and stuff, I would be kind of skeptical.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, like Respawn is made up of the, like I guess
The
if
old
you
one.
want to, the actual Infinity Ward, not the new Infinity Ward. So I guess it's sort of like it could be good, but it really just depends on what they're wanting to make out of it. If they're wanting to make like a just like a linear Gears of War type clone, or if they wanted to like make like an Uncharted out of it. Maybe they're making like a bounty hunter game again, or whatever. I guess it really just depends on what they want to do with it.
Exactly. There's so many possibilities.
Yeah, right.
That it's
kind of
really
hard to be
difficult
critical
to
of it as
get
well because
any
we don't really know
excitement for
anything
this
about
game
it.
because we know so little.
But yeah, new Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
Next up, Nintendo will not be having a direct during E3. Here. Let me. Okay. So it says
Yeah.
that,
Nintendo, please, just please.
Nintendo announces plans for E3. Yes. They announced that we have no plans for E3. In a statement, Nintendo explained that it will instead host a Treehouse Live event on June 14th. And Reggie will kick off the broadcast, though it sounds like the company will only discuss the upcoming Legend of Zelda game, even though Legend of Zelda won't even be playable or coming this year. Man. Oh, it is?
No,
okay,
they
then.
said it was
that's probably
playable at
right,
E3,
then.
didn't
Yeah, I'm sure
Oh,
it's
yeah,
playable
that's
as
right.
well.
NX won't be there.
they? That's kind of...
I was get that kind of confused because like both got delayed. But
Yeah,
one-
that's
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of... I don't know. Like, if it's coming out next year in March,
man.
when are they going to announce it?
Nintendo,
like, what else would be
Experience.
like a good time to
They gotta
announce
have
it? Or then,
their,
like,
they
He said
they have to
later
have
this
their
year.
own like sort of event for it.
yeah.
Unless just one random week in March next
Yeah, I
year
can
just
imagine.
flops out onto the market.
See, I think there's no Nintendo Direct. The only thing it says to me is they've given up on the Wii U,
Yeah.
and they're holding all their bets on the NX. And so we're just waiting for the NX reveal, and then all the games, because from the sounds of it, they're working.
I
on
would
a
have
lot
to
of
imagine
games
there
for the
is
NX.
because there are
There's
no
a lot of
games
game
for Wii U.
to be in development for it.
That's why I was the
Yeah.
most surprised about this whole like NX getting delayed because like I was really positive it was coming out this year because I was like, what? They don't have any games like coming out. So I just assumed that it would be coming out this year just because they're working on everything, or obviously they're working on everything for NX.
Yeah. It
Hopefully
might...
just means
Launch
that
with a Zelda.
the NX
and
lineup
a
will
3D
be very
Mario.
good when it starts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still.
And
That's
Smash Bros has been
pretty
rumored as
solid
well.
lineup.
I know just the port, but still.
Yeah, it might be smarter to release it next year if Sony and Microsoft are going to kick off their new consoles in 2018, which is
it?
the standard generation.
I feel like it'll be
console
longer
generation.
than that, though.
5 years, so...
Because what was last generation? That was like 7 years.
I think it's going to be longer this generation, to be honest.
Yeah, it was long.
10 years. But that was because of many factors.
Well, yeah,
that
I
no
don't-
longer
I don't think
affect,
this generation will be that
affect
long,
Console,
But I
so
definitely
just, I
think
guess
it'll
it
be
really
like
just
7
depends.
or 8 years.
Yeah, well, with
I
PlayStation
guess.
Neo, I think PlayStation Neo is definitely happening, isn't it? And with the 4K upgrade. And I don't think they'd have any need with that console if they knew a PS5 was around the corner. So I think this generation is going to last quite a while.
I guess it just depends on if the NX is starting the next generation or not.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just a reboot of this generation of Nintendo because the Wii
Yeah,
U
getting
failed so
into
badly.
that was actually the last article on here, but I'll skip to it real quick just because we're on the subject. GameStop is expecting new PlayStation, Xbox consoles in the next few years, with rumors circling around potential new PS and Xbox consoles. GameStop CEO Paul Raines has now come out to say that he expects to see some new consoles in the next few years. In an interview with VideoGamer.com, Raines teased that GameStop knows more than it can share on this front. We anticipate that we'll see some new consoles in the next few years, he said. We don't like to talk about that because our partners get upset if we jump ahead, so we let them disclose that.
Yeah, I think it's just a reference to PlayStation Neo.
Yeah, me neither.
I can't see
Like-
it being PlayStation 5 or new generation. What will be interesting though?
I guess it just
do you-
depends because Sony and Microsoft are likely already
Wait, what year did
developing
PS4 come out?
new consoles. So, if unless Sony is planning not to develop any
What
more consoles
year
after
did
PS4,
PS4
which is
come out in
completely
2013?
possible, but who knows?
So 5 years would be 2018.
Yeah.
2013, yeah. Yeah,
So I'd have to imagine like it's got to be
Yep.
this generation will last until at
Yeah.
least 2020. Like I don't know. It's just kind of
Yeah, I
hard for
agree.
me to believe that it'll be that short. Like I know like like in theory console like lifespan should get shorter and shorter just cuz like technology like keeps advancing faster and faster.
Especially now, I think it would be like technologically speaking, like completely impossible for the PS4 and the Xbox One to last.
Yeah, unless
Another,
somehow for like future consoles they
4
just somehow like have them come out like every 3 or 4 years, but have them be a lot cheaper, so you could like afford to buy them that quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, the Xbox One, not the Xbox One, the Xbox 360 and the PS3, they were
Yeah, like,
future
way
proof
ahead
when
of
it came
Sony.
out. They were like cutting edge when it came to like how powerful they were. And when the PS4 and the Xbox One came out, they were underpowered compared to the competition. So it's just like, and with like how big PC gaming has gotten in the past few years, it's kind of hard not to compete with that.
But why release PlayStation Neo if PlayStation 5 is coming in?
Yeah,
a couple of
that's
years?
true. That's a good point.
I really don't know. Just
That's what makes me think that these maybe Xbox do it as well, but PlayStation Neo would be a stopgap if you want the better processor and the better.
Yeah, there's another thing that I was thinking,
then you
like
can upgrade
instead,
if you
like
want,
they
but
could
it's
just
not
have it where they
compulsory.
upgrade the consoles, but like maybe like you send yours in, you paid like $100 more to upgrade it.
that might be
Right, yeah, that wouldn't be this
overextending
generation or
a bit
anything.
too,
Like,
though.
I guess you
So
could
I
make
guess
it
it
so
really
that
just
people can upgrade
depends.
it themselves, but at that point, it's just a PC.
Yeah, and consoles have gotten like fairly close to PC technology in past few years anyway. So it's just like, who knows what's going to happen? Maybe consoles
What is
will no
GameStop
longer
gonna
exist
be out of
in
business
the next couple of
soon
years. Who knows?
Well, no, I mean, I
That's what
understand why they're
baffles
not out of
me.
business
Why
yet,
aren't
but
they
I
out
have
of
to
business
assume
yet? Are they,
during
like,
the
doing some,
next
like,
generation of consoles, I have to assume they go out of business.
underground stuff.
Because like I feel like it'll be a lot more. Like, wasn't there a rumor that
Yeah.
which I don't remember which one of these consoles it was, but there was a rumor that it wasn't going to have a like disc slot. Oh, that was NX.
NX.
Yeah,
I think
original.
every rumor in
That's
the
a good
world has
point.
been quoted for an X.
Yeah.
we don't even know what the NX
No,
is.
that's
Like,
the thing.
no-
Because like
about
everyone
it.
talks about like they're
Nobody
like
knows
okay, yeah,
anything
it's
about
it's
the
just all
NX.
speculation. Like we haven't gotten anything about NX.
Like,
a toaster.
For all we know, the NX could be
Ah.
like a
Could be like,
Yeah.
oh,
That would be
my
great, a
toast
toaster
is
where you play
done.
Video games.
like
Let me put
a
some cream cheese on
reskinned
this
Commodore
bagel.
64. Nobody knows.
Nintendo. What would they call if Nintendo came out with a toaster? What do you think they would call it? The man. We should have thought of this beforehand.
This is hard.
Except this isn't really something you think of beforehand. Wax.
Mario's wax.
Kyle, that does not make sense at all.
Waxer?
Well,
What?
Mario's
I don't want
Italian.
toaster on
He has
wax.
mustache, so
I don't think
he
that's
might
how.
need a toaster
I
to
don't-
like
okay, I don't think that's how
wax his
waxers
mustache.
work.
I don't know.
I don't know what you've been
You're
waxing.
using your waxes wrong.
Man.
spread.
Let's
hopefully.
go ahead and move on to the last thing. Evolve Dev is working on an unannounced new IP described as, quote, cutting edge. Turtle Rock Studios, the developer behind Left 4 Dead and more recently Evolve, is currently hiring for an unannounced IP. IGN noticed a job listing for an animation programmer who will work on the game. The job listing teases that the game will be cutting edge and is coming to next-gen hardware, PS4 and Xbox One. Quote, we are searching for an exceptional programmer to help us in developing that. Yeah. It doesn't matter. That's the job description. But yeah, Evolve, it was... I never bought the game, but I did play it some. I thought it was good, but if you didn't have like a consistent group to play with, then it wasn't very fun. Because like, you know, it's kind of hard to communicate with them effectively, and that's all about teamwork. If your team doesn't work, you're gonna get destroyed. So yeah, I thought it was a good idea, but kind of like, I haven't played Rainbow Six much, but kind of like Rainbow Six, if you don't have a squad consistently, then it'll be kind of hard to be successful.
Yeah, like Evolve's DLC
I forgot about the whole
and stuff
DLC
was
debacle
like
with Evolve.
worse
like
than even Call of Duty. So it's just like that's like what made people like not hate, but just not want to pay any attention to Evolve just because of how sketchy it was.
Like
DLC,
$20
so.
for a
DLC,
monster.
Like, I didn't hear about this.
Like there was like just like so much of it. It was like expensive, and there was just like so much of it. Like almost everything in the game you had to pay for as DLC. Like they purposely made the game smaller, and then he chopped up stuff to make into DLC.
Except worse.
So like Star Wars Battlefront, then basically.
I'm trying to find out.
Yeah, pretty much.
There was total.
I think it was over $240, something like that.
Oh my god!
All totaled up.
See, I was given Evolve
John will play with you.
Free game recently, but I haven't got around to playing
play
it.
Evolve with him.
After hearing that, oh my god.
Let's see. Man, I'm trying to find this.
Just imagine Evolve's Game of the Year edition. It's just $240.
Is that out? I feel like
DLC
the Evolve Ultimate
has.
Edition is out. something like that. Cause
I don't think. I'm
no,
not
like
sure.
honestly, Evolve
I was just joking.
Ultimate Edition. Let's see. Yeah, it is a thing. It has all the DLC and stuff. It came out. I think it's just $60 normally.
Okay.
So I imagine it might even be cheaper now because it came out I think in November last year. Yeah. So okay, here I found it. If my computer would load. Here we go. Videogamer.com. Evolve it says, well, this is a monster price cut, so it'll probably say the original price here as well. 2K has slashed the price of Evolve's first wave of DLC. Originally, monsters cost 12 pounds. This is Video Gamer. While hunters were originally 7 pounds. That's a lot, considering there wasn't many characters in the game to begin with. I think there's only like 3 of each class. So like to charge you like another like $15 for a monster is kind of insane.
Yeah, definitely. I think I don't like it, like, because it's multiplayer, it restricts you from playing with other people if they've got
I think they probably would have learned from that now. Just because there was such a negative response after all this DLC came out. I forgot about that, to be honest. Because, man, Evolve came out, what was that? I feel like it came out February of last year, something like that. But yeah.
Yeah, I think. I think it was right
I think that is right.
The order.
2 games that people were complaining about content. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't good.
Yeah.
Well, I know it was.
But yeah,
it was
I think
2014
that,
was disappointing year, wasn't it? So.
The Evolve had a lot of good ideas and actually pretty fun. But again, like I said, if you didn't have a team, it was kind of hard to win. And the DLC is ridiculous. So a new IP, I feel like they could have taken what they learned from there and described as cutting edge. Well, I don't know. I think it could be interesting because Turtle Rock is a good dev. They just sort of needed to work out some kinks. 2K.
Yeah. Who published Evolve?
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean,
then I'm surprised they would even allow that. Like how they would like even allow like.
Yeah, 2K is usually pretty good
for Turtle
about
Rock to like make that much DLC because usually
like you
2K,
can buy stuff, but then it doesn't really affect you that
yeah,
much.
exactly.
Anyways, I have got to get out of here. Even though this is a shorter episode, I kind of got to run. So let's go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Game Bolt Podcast, the official podcast of thegamebolt.com. Post to iTunes every Tuesday and YouTube every Wednesday. If you have any topics for us, we did not stream this week, but if you have any topics for us, usually you can ask us on stream or tweet them at _GameBolt. Recent stuff that we've done on the site. Well, let me bring up the website real quick. I usually have it open. I just forgot this time. Let's see here. 3 reasons to get excited about Inner Space, written by John. Inner Space is a really cool game. Me and him played it at PAX, so check that out. Why does Call of Duty Infinite Warfare look so familiar, by Liam. Make Your Own Trophies, Part 4 by Liam. And another Premier League, according to FIFA, Game Week 37 by Toby. He puts those out pretty frequently. So yeah, thanks for listening. Ryan, where can we find you on Twitter? And Kyle, where can we find you?
You can find me at RyanAJ13.
And you can find me at GrantRam3. You can follow the site at _GameBolt. That's all we got for you this week. Thanks for listening. We will catch you on the next episode. Later, guys.